Hi, my name is Elise Guidry.
And I'm Teresa Gillette, and we're going to talk to you about LGBT students at risk, why they're there, and what you can do to help.
So just some basic LGBT terminology and statistics for you guys. Did you all know that there are about 9 million LGBT adults in America currently? There are also 25.6 million questioning people, 4 million bisexuals, 100,000 people that identify as transgender. That's a lot of people. There's also 1 million same-sex couples, and between all those couples, 200,000 of them are raising kids. So the reason why we're doing this presentation is because the relevance is in the numbers. Statistically, as a teacher, we're going to have either an LGBT student in our classroom or someone who has an LGBT parent or grandparent or aunt or uncle or friend. It's really important that we touch upon this because our students are going to be depending on us for our knowledge and our openness and to set the tone how we deal with the acceptance of others in the queer community.
As Elise just said, our willingness to be open and accepting of students is going to determine how open students are with us. And as buzz issues in the LGBT community have come to the forefront of our attention, I'm sure that many of you have taken your stand one way or another. But personal opinions, biases, and community culture really does make an impact on students, as we'll explore throughout this module. In fact, the way that LGBT youth are treated does make them a population that can be considered at risk. If you refer to the LGBT youth facts and statistics sheet included with the information and resources in this module, you will see statistics like 90% of LGBT students hear anti-LGBT comments in school. Greater than 50% of transgendered youth attempt suicide. And 26% of LGBT youth are forced to leave home because of conflicts with family over sexual orientation or gender identity. Such statistics are the kinds of conditions that put all youth at risk. The difference here is that many youth experience these struggles because they are LGBT.
Those are important statistics, and it's our professional responsibility to monitor our behavior and our thoughts to make sure that we are doing something for the LGBT youth that positively impacts them. Through this presentation, we're going to really do three things. We're going to explore how U.S. culture is shaping how we think about LGBT individuals. We're also going to give you guys recommendations for how to create a safe space classroom, past just the sticker, right? We're also going to define LGBT risk and give you resources should you need to reach out to a struggling student.
But before we can start addressing all of those important objectives, we first need to get you familiar with LGBT terminology. As a pretest and to get you familiar with these terms, please open up the document entitled Self-Evaluation in our resources and take the quiz on LGBT terms. Please pause the video to take this quiz. The answers to the quiz are listed above. Knowledge of these terms are going to help you as you navigate this module and will also help you as you interact with LGBT individuals in the future. Personally, when I hear a person use these terms wrong, I like to educate, but that isn't exactly everyone's first instinct. Also, please note that the Safe Space Manual is a resource from GLSEN, the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network, a website with a ton of resources for educators.
In this module, we will be focusing on three major objectives. Objective 1. Teachers will have the skills to respond to situations that are not LGBT supportive. 2. Teachers will know how to build a safe space and a community of allies for their students. 3. Teachers will have basic LGBT terminology, will know the risk factors of LGBT students, and they will know why this risk is so unique. Now, through the quiz you just took, and through the Safe Space resource provided, you should have access to a variety of LGBT terminology. However, In terms of why LGBT youth are at risk, the best way to really think about that is to reflect on our own cultural norms and thought processes. For example, think about the cultural norm of Disney, right? So for Disney, this is very much fulfills gender roles and the heteronormative reality that most kids see today. For example, Cinderella gets Prince Charming, Ariel gets Prince Eric, and Tiana gets the Frog Prince. This presentation both comes from and adds to our cultural belief in heteronormativity, an idea that you can read more about in Moving Beyond the Inclusion of LGBT-themed literature in ELA classrooms, interrogating heteronormativity and intersectionality. You might also be interested in looking at the Kinsey Institute link, which is a resource that challenges all to think about how heteronormativity is not the norm.
LGBT youth need to be considered at risk in a teacher's mind. LGBT youth are at a statistically higher risk of homelessness and suicide among minorities. For more statistics and information on movements that have begun to combat these risk factors, please refer to our links from the Trevor Project, a resource for LGBT youth in crisis, and the Allie Forney Center, a shelter for homeless LGBT youth.
Despite the overwhelming issues LGBT youth face, teachers can make a difference by making sure that their classrooms are a safe space for students. Now, in your schools, I'm sure that many of you guys have seen the rainbow stickers on a teacher's door declaring that the room is a safe space. However, creating a safe space is so much more than just a sticker. A safe space is defined by an environment where all are respected and accepted. For example, the images on the walls should be reflecting the butts in the seats. The curriculum should include minority races, sexual orientations, religion, so on and so forth. And marginalized voices should be heard in all of the content areas.
Many of the suggestions Elise just made to define a safe space are huge systemic changes, but frankly, the simplest thing that you can do is speak up when hateful language is spoken, educate students about hate speech, and treat all with kindness and respect. From one educator to another, I know that kids can sometimes be scary, and speaking up is not always easy. You can put yourself at risk and tears can be shed. But without good role models, some kids will just never hear an inclusive message. To get more information about creating a safe space and really earning that sticker, and about responding to hateful language, please refer to the highlighted sections of the GLSEN Safe Space Guide and pages 102 to 107 and 108 to 110 of I Didn't Know What to Say, 4 Archetypal Responses to Homophobic Rhetoric in the Classroom. As you read through all of our resources, you're going to want to keep our essential questions in mind.
Okay, so these are the essential questions. 1. What is an example of a heteronormative practice at your internship, school, or place of employment? How might heteronormative practices and attitudes create an environment that puts LGBT students at risk? Make sure that you consider the variety of risks LGBT youth face in your response. And our second critical question is, having explored a variety of resources on building an inclusive environment, share a story where you took on one of the 4 archetypal responses to homophobic speech in a classroom. If you were passive in your response, what could you or would you do differently now?
So we really hope that you enjoyed this presentation. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch with us. Thank you.